Inside the 19th floor of the dungeon, a monster girl is being hunted by a group of adventurers when she accidentally meets Bell. Bell also intends to take action. But when he saw the monster baby in front of him crying, he softened his heart to help it avoid the other people. Returning to the 18th floor, the party members discovered that the girl who had been with them all this time was a monster and immediately attempted to destroy it. However, under Belle's persuasion, and she knew how to talk, the rest of them agreed to let Belle take her home. At the same time, a mystical figure was reporting to the guild's patron god that a monster endowed with wisdom was about to leave the dungeon. Upon seeing the monster's pitiful expression, Hestia temporarily allowed her to stay and gave her the name Ween. Even so, Hestia knew this was no small matter, so she told everyone to go to the gods to inquire about talking monsters. Unfortunately, no results were obtained, except to hear from the guild that recently there was a monster in the middle floor of the dungeon that used adventurer equipment to fight. Meanwhile, Ween begins to enjoy a new life on Earth. She feels extremely comfortable when sunbathing or enjoying delicious food. Even then there was a small incident that made Ween extremely scared. Belle quickly reassured her and told her he was fine. To the evening, to avoid repeating this situation in the afternoon, Wells did her nails again. However, everyone still had their own thoughts about her presence. Before going to bed, Ween confided to Belle that she often dreamed that she had killed many people and then was killed by others. Elsewhere, the family members were discussing the request that Uranus had hired them to do was to investigate a monster smuggling case from the dungeon to the outside of the clan. Right now, the clan leader was scolding his subordinates for letting go of a rare race monster. Then ordered them to investigate the adventurers present on the 19th floor at that time, and asked God Ikei to give him more information about this. The next day, wanting to know more about Ween, Hestia decided to let everyone secretly return to the 19th floor to investigate. But only 3 people left. This trip felt that the force was a bit weak. Belle came to ask for help but was refused by her. However, after the sudden appearance of Aisha, she quickly changed her mind because she thought she needed to help her friend. During the battle in the dungeon that followed, both Aisha and Rio showed their strength. Belle alone seems to be having a mental problem when he can't kill monsters. Belle then accompanied Wells to the 19th floor to investigate. The two were disappointed because they couldn't find a clue when suddenly a girl approached and said they had the smell of her own kind on them, but because they couldn't smell the blood, the mysterious girl only spoke a little about the peaceful coexistence of humans and monsters and then quickly leaving. Holding a feather that has just fallen from the girl, Belle and Wells are shocked to discover that she is also a talking monster like Ween. Next, when facing the Ikelos family, Belle was noticed by the Dix when he heard from his subordinates that when they were chasing Ween, Belle was also at the scene. Leaving the dungeon, Belle was alone thinking about the mysterious girl when suddenly the god Ikelos called back. Then he mentioned how Ween made him panic a little. Fortunately, God Hermes appeared in time to relieve him. Then Hermes frankly asked Ikelos if his family was smuggling monsters, and also part of a dark organization. At the mansion, Ween was playing hide and seek when she overheard Lily saying that her continued stay here would put everyone in danger. So she ran outside to find Belle. Previously, while wandering on the street, Ween had saved a child but was misunderstood and stoned by the people. Seeing that, Belle immediately tried to run up when Lily was a step faster, pulling Ween away from there. In the cellar inside the church, Ween could only cry. The appearance of monsters in the middle of the street caused a wave of criticism towards the guild. Faced with that situation, the guild president suddenly conveyed a top-secret mission to the Hestia family. She brought it to Belle. Belle was surprised to see that the mission they received was to protect the dragon maiden Ween to the 20th floor of the dungeon. Although it was not clear why the guild knew about Ween's existence, what the family needed to do right now was to find a way to enter the 20th floor, where they had never been before. This made Belle feel extremely guilty for putting the whole family in danger. However, everyone showed their willingness to face difficulties with him. In the evening, after seeing Belle's group into the dungeon, Hestia followed the instructions written in the scriptures inside the letter and met the mystery, and then continued to be taken by him to meet the god Uranus. Inside the dungeon, thanks to the powerful magic weapon prepared in advance, everyone finally reached the destination. There, Ween heard lyrics coming from behind the rock. She stepped up to break it and discovered a cave. As soon as they stepped inside, the team was suddenly attacked by a group of strange armed monsters. Facing an extremely dangerous situation, everyone still tried to protect Ween well, and Belle quickly trained. Middle strength. Punched the leader lizard hard against the wall. At this moment, the lizard suddenly burst into laughter, surprising the group. Right after that, a female monster approached claiming to be the one who met Belle yesterday. She spoke up and explained that what just happened was just a test to see if they really cared about Ween. It turns out that all the monsters in this place are like Ween, endowed with wisdom to think, not kill instinctively. Next, the lizard introduced itself as Lid and reached out its hand to get acquainted with Belle. The claws look a bit scary though. Belle still mustered up the courage to shake hands, causing the whole cave to immediately resound with cheers. At the same time, God Uranus tells Hestia he is protecting them, and he also hopes that she and her family will be able to become a bridge to help people and can live in harmony. Returning to the cave, a great party was held by the group of monsters to welcome the guests. However, there were still a few monsters that opposed putting their trust in humans. Even so, Lid insists that Belle's group is nothing like the adventurers they've met. On the other hand, Hestia thought it was a myth that humans lived with monsters, but the god convinced her. Because of their intellectual property, all they want is a peaceful life. And communicate with people through words, not killing each other. Hearing this, Hestia expressed sympathy with this situation. But she was also worried that if the matter related to monsters was revealed, the Hestia race would definitely have no place in the city. At this time, a mysterious person named Fels was also present as a mediator between the god Uranus and Xenos. Before becoming a skeleton like now, Fels was once a famous sage who successfully created the art of immortality. At the same time, when Hestia asked why Xenos was born, he surmised that monsters have the same cycle of reincarnation as humans, and then, through countless reincarnations, accumulated desires and regrets changed the monsters' souls, causing them to produce wisdom. Before parting, Lid also reminded Belle not to take it easy when facing the monsters in the rotten cellar. Because they were completely different from Xenos, he would be in danger if he hesitated. After that, the Xenos began to split up to move to a new settlement, but unfortunately Ween's group fell into a trap set by the Dix and was forced to fight the clanspeople.